Hello everyone. I'm sorry if this doesn't quite get my face, but I just want to kind of have a conversation about 2014, kind of reflecting on the things that have gone on in my life this year, both what God has done for me as well as kind of what is to come in the future. So, for starters, 2014 has been, a year full of miracles and a year full of just amazing things that have happened. So, in March, a dear friend of mine got into an accident where he was hit by a car and his guide dog was killed. This was all over the news. This was something that devastated me emotionally, and I guess I don't know like why. I guess it's a good testament of things happening when you least expect them to happen, and I don't really know why I felt extremely emotional over this. Part of it may be because I dated him, and part of it may just be because of my personality. I try to care about others, and because Jesus's main law, the one thing that he preached a lot, the Bible says to love others as we love ourselves. So I think that a lot of it had to do with that. But I kind of got to show that I cared by performing at a benefit that I had for him, as well as for the benefit that was for the Opportunities Unlimited for the Blind, which is an organization that he works for and is very passionate about. Many of you may know who I'm talking about. So he is kind of a testament that miracles do happen, as well as many of the other things that I'm going to tell you about. Another thing that happened was in June. I got to take the missions trip to Mexico, which was absolutely amazing. It was a great experience for me, and I really just appreciated everything that I've learned there. So that's kind of that. There's a note on Facebook that you can find if you'd like to read it, on my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. Also, in August, I created a page called Let Your Light Shine, and I felt urged to create that page, and I felt very just anxious about it, but nonetheless I did it because I felt like God wanted me to do it. And though that page is kind of slow, it's slowly picking up, but I know that it was created for a reason, and I know that Jesus is going to be there, and that God is using that page for good. Because after all, it is for him, and it's not about It's not about who engages and who doesn't engage. It's mainly about his word getting out there. So then I started an internship at the end of August at Adams Park Apartments, which is part of the Grand Rapids Housing Commission, working with the social worker there. I'm actually considered a resident services intern. Also, in November, I created my singing page, my music page that is simply just for music. And I'm hoping that God will be there, and I know that God's going to be there. Yeah, I shouldn't say that I'm hoping. I should say that I know that God is going to be there through that. So really, that's all the things that have happened this year as far as events, as major events, or what I consider to be major events in my life. So now I want to turn this video over to another topic, and that topic is the impact of people in my life, especially those I do not know. And there are 3 pages that I would like to pay some special attention to, even though there are a few others, but there are 3 of them that have really been big for me. The first one is probably the one with the most impact. Actually, that's really hard to measure amounts of impact, but one of the pages is, his name is Damien of Dreams for Damien, and Damien suffers from a rare kidney disease, and this year he had a bone marrow transplant. Or not a bone marrow transplant, I'm sorry. A kidney transplant. Wow. And I don't know, I just felt very emotionally connected. The other 2 people that I'm going to mention, the other 2 kids that I'm going to mention have had bone marrow transplants. The first one being Sophia Soto. She is currently in remission and has had a bone marrow transplant. And I just love reading about her progress and about things that are going on with her, and she's just a very special little girl. Finally, there is Ethan Wright of Yellow for Ethan, and his bone marrow transplant was actually much more recent than Sophia's bone marrow transplant, but I love reading his dad's post that he posts on the page and on the Twitter about Ethan's progress every night. I think that these 3 individuals are people who have really been used to demonstrate that miracles do, in fact, exist. And anyone who would just follow me forever, everywhere I went for the year, would realize just by being in my head that they do exist. Even if they didn't believe in them before, they would believe in them now because of all of the miracles that I've witnessed myself personally and the miracles that I've read about on the pages of these individuals and families. So that's really it for 2014. Now, finally, let's talk about the things that are to come in 2015. I'm going to continue to work at my internship, obviously, but I mainly want to talk spiritually for a minute. And I just want to say that I want to pray more and to spend more time in the Word. Something that I have struggled with, but I feel like having those habits, making those things habits to spend time with God, to just put aside my busy schedule, even if it's for a half an hour a day, can have major impacts in a person's life. So I'm hoping, and I'm going to try very hard with God's help to make that a habit. Because wow, what am I trying to say? This is something that is very important to me as I grow in faith and as I grow spiritually. Because I just learned yesterday that that I need to focus on what is unseen, as in these spiritual things and the things of faith, because they're eternal. And the other things that go on in this society are temporary. Even me standing right here holding this phone is a temporary thing, because I mean, I can't take anything I have to heaven. And I think that my faith is something that's very important, so I want to spend some time focusing on that. So that is really kind of where I'm headed for 2015. This is how far I've come in 2014. And yeah, so Happy New Year, and I hope that this video finds you in a great place. And if anyone has any questions regarding getting to know Jesus or growing in faith or any of these things, feel free to message me or ask. Or even if you know someone around you, you can talk to them as well. Just know that I'm open and I'm willing. Happy New Year.